It's day 5 of winter. The snow didn't disappear yesterday and has actually got a little bit deeper overnight. Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Seasons in the Valley. We're definitely getting snowed in and we've got more snow due at some point today as well, but you can see now this is more than just a single layer. If we drive on this, we should, I think, actually start making some tyre tracks. Spin the camera around and have a look. I'm not too sure. It might only be at one layer deep still, but hasn't thawed. That might be it. It does look to be a little bit deeper than it was yesterday. You can see those patches that we had in the courtyard. They're not there anymore. You know, they're actually covered, but it does still perhaps look like it's only a single layer. Let's come out here. Again, it's a little bit more covered. But the roads are clear, so maybe... yeah, maybe it was just, you know, it reapplied a little bit of layer to some of the stuff that had thawed out a bit overnight. So, just a single layer of snow to deal with then. But that's actually a good thing because I kind of came to the realization that as I was fast forwarding through to today, it suddenly dawned on me we were supposed to be selling some crops in winter, and I've checked and we've kind of missed our window on a couple of our crops. So you see, wheat and barley were actually at their best at the beginning of winter, and we kind of missed that window. Barley's not too bad. It's not far off what we could have got, potentially, but it's not as high now as it could have been. Canola, as well, has also dipped ever so slightly. I mean, obviously, these are, as I say, predicted prices, not actual prices. And, of course, we're a long way off from selling our soybeans. That's a summer crop, for sure. Our corn is... well, our corn, there was a window at the beginning of winter, look, where it was actually, or midwinter, where it was actually very good, and it's dropped off again. So the corn we can hang on to and sell in the summer. We haven't got any real worries about that. But yeah, we have kind of missed our window a little bit with these two crops here, with wheat and barley. They're not quite as good now as they could have been. If we take a look at the market price, you can see canola's actually going down. I'm not going to panic sell the canola. If necessary, we can always hold on to it until next year, although I'd rather not do that. But we are going to sell our wheat and our barley today. We're going to take those down and sell them off. You can see the best prices that we have are actually at AgroLife rather than at Raiffeisen. So that's where we're going to go. That's where we're going to make our sales. Hopefully the snow isn't going to be too bad on the roads, and hopefully it's going to be a little while before it falls. But just to give us... actually, we'll take the T8. That's going to be better on the hills, I think. I thought about taking the T7, but we'll take the T8. Something a little bit meatier. Let's go collect our trailer from around the corner. There it is. And we'll start with the wheat, because we have a lot of wheat. I think nearly 90,000 litres, if I remember rightly, in storage, which is 2.5 trailers. This is, well, over 2 trailers. It's about 2 2/3 trailers. We have a 36,000 litre capacity in this, so 2 trailers will be 72,000. It gives us a little bit of time for the market to kind of hopefully rebound a little bit between sales. So if we get the wheat done first, yeah, there you see 90,000 litres of wheat. And where is AgroLife? Which one of our sell points is that? That's over here in the top left corner. So we'll be heading out down the main road, up the main hill as we usually do, into Villeneuve, up here past the BGA entrance into the AgroLife sell point. And as I say, we have plenty of wheat still to sell, and we can sell a trailer full of barley as well. We'll probably come back and do the barley after we've done this first trailer. We'll see what happens to the price. I'm going to keep an eye on that canola as well. Obviously, the price at Raiffeisen is dropping, but it's still lower than the price at AgroLife, so we might possibly sell a trailer at AgroLife a little bit later as well. But first things first, let's take this to market. You see the sun shining out now and reflecting on the snow. Tractor does feel like it's wobbling a little bit. I'm not seeing tracks though. Yeah, and there you can see it is a very thin layer. I genuinely thought maybe the snow was a little bit deeper. It looks like it might be a little bit deeper in the fields. Looks like there might be a dual layer perhaps in the fields. I'm not sure. And the places where we kind of pushed our snow... Let me check my settings actually, because I'm seeing the tractor bouncing around a little bit. Do we have snow tracks? Yes, they are switched on. We're seeing areas where we're kind of wobbling and bouncing around a little bit. These areas here as well, you can see we are kind of flattening this, and we will leave tracks in these areas here, and you can see the impact that we're having there, which is a really nice feature. It's great to see that when you're actually driving around on snow as well. Again, there's just a slight little bit of extra snow, but it's not enough. It's not deep enough to make tracks. But there you can see the very sort of faint indication of where we actually created that little pathway, because we only cleared one side of the driveway into the farm. And again here, look, you can see there's just that little indication of where we didn't quite clear all of it. Oh wow, this road has completely covered itself again, look. So we just have to be wary of our traction, I suppose. It might be a little bit tricky in a couple of places, but it does look as though the vast majority of the main road itself has cleared again. So hopefully we'll make a decent amount from our sort of first crop sales. It's not going to be a stellar amount. Obviously we have kind of, as I say, missed the ideal window for selling. But we're only a day or two outside of those windows, so we should still get a pretty good return. And if we leave it too much longer, we're kind of resigning ourselves to not actually selling this year, which would be a bit of a shame. After all that work and effort we put in, to not sell this year would be a little bit of a shame. We might have to come out and clear the road again if it gets any worse. Again, don't forget to say we are due more snow later today as well, so we could well be in for multiple layers a little bit later on. It all depends what time it snows and how long it's going to snow for. But the good thing about the snow clearing that we did yesterday is it kind of gives us an indication of where the edge of the road is. Obviously it's slightly over the edge of the field, at the edge of the road, but it gives you a good kind of guideline, so we know where not to drive, and we can follow the road where it just kind of disappears under a complete blanket of snow, goes around a corner, and you don't necessarily see exactly where the road is supposed to be going until you're already on it. And again, you can just see that sun bouncing off the snow there through the trees. It's such a wonderful visual effect. I really do like that. Very, very pretty indeed. So the whole entrance here to Villeneuve is completely snowed again, look. But as we get into the village itself, it does look as though it has been cleared. Definitely not deep enough for tracks. I love these morning lights as well, the morning sunlight, when it just casts those shadows across your equipment and your trailers, and you can get some truly stunning visuals if you catch it at the right angle and the right time of day. Alright, so from here we need to hang a right on this fork just here. And then up over the other side of the hill, that should be, you know, then the run straight into AgriLife, where we actually finally get to sell our first load of grain. I'm kind of excited for this, you know. This is the culmination of all the work that we've done through the year up to this point. And now it's kind of time to see whether or not that work was worth it. This is a really steep hill. Look how much we're struggling. again, you can see the way the sun glints off the equipment and casts those sort of different shadows of the trees along the side of the trailer. It is a wonderful look. Right, here we go then. Here is Agro Life. So this is our way in. Zoom out a little bit so we can actually see what we're doing. That forestry area down there, it's just, the road's completely disappeared, look. Right. So this is our cell grate. Let's see how much this first trailer is worth. And the money's going up. Which is that? 25 grand. That's not too bad. It's not too bad for a single trailer's worth. And we've got another 2 trailers worth. Obviously they're going to be worth slightly less, but 25 grand's a decent amount. I'm kind of pleased with that. Look, the road doesn't exist out here. It's just gone completely. Alright, let's make our way back to the farm and pick up another load of grain. And I say this time we might possibly go with our barley. We'll see when we get back to the farm what the prices are looking like. So we arrive back at the farm ready for the next load of grain. I think given how covered some of these roads are already, and the fact that the snow is potentially going to get deeper later, which is going to make it a bit more awkward to drive and control our vehicles around, I'm going to take the T7 out with a snowblower again, and I'm going to actually start clearing those roads off a little bit. So we'll park up the T8 just here. There we go. Let's just take a quick look at the market price. 666 for wheat, so it has dropped, but it's still higher than Raiffeisen. And you can see that the Raiffeisen's canola price is still dropping as well. And dropping quite quickly, actually, by the look of it. So yeah, we probably won't end up selling canola today, given that. But we are going to go out and do a little bit of ploughing, and just to make things a little bit easier on some of these junctions where the snow is already piled up, we're going to use the plough on the back of the tractor so that we can kind of snowblow our way through the front stuff, and then anything that gets problematic in the way, we can then just shove out the way with the blade. That's kind of the plan anyway. So let's go find the snowblower. There it is. Get hooked up. Pipe out. Let's spin that around. Change the angle right down. And there. Now, you can see here, look. You remember what I was saying last time out, that this thing doesn't always seem to show the snow being blown? Well, that's exactly what's happening here. I don't know why, but for some reason, it's not showing the snow being blown out the pipe. It's just appearing at the side. I don't know why it does this. I'm not sure what causes it to just kind of be so temperamental. But this is how I normally end up seeing this thing without the snow blowing, and I don't know why it does this. If anybody has an answer, then please do let me know in the comments, because I really would like to know why this keeps happening to me. And whether I'm the only person this is happening to. Maybe I just need to reinstall the mod. Maybe it's just a bit temperamental because it hasn't installed properly. I don't know. Please do let me know in the comments if you have an answer for that. here is where obviously we've kind of left that little ridge going across the road, which is not the greatest thing that we ever did really. So we're going to kind of shovel that out the way. So let's switch over to the blade. Let's angle the blade. And let's try and push this out of the way a little bit if we can. It's a little awkward because we're kind of flattening the snow again as we drive through. So it doesn't necessarily want to do it. I'll tell you what we can do. I have found that this blade is a little bit sort of tricky to use. Or at least to use effectively. What we can do is we can... Oops. Let's get that raised and out of the way. Let's switch back to the blower. Let's get it to blow in front of us. Let's raise the angle like that. There we go. Let's really clear that junction out properly. Yeah, that works. Alright, there we go. So, we need to bring this back around. Other side. Just pull out the way. Change that angle right down again. I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to sell this rear blade. It doesn't seem to be as useful as the snowblower, which definitely does seem a little bit more useful for us. And as I say, we're just going to clear the roads a little bit better, just in case that snow comes and does make some of these roads a bit more treacherous. So I'm going to carry on doing this, and I will kind of see you back at the farm once we're done. So I've cleared the snow away from sort of the main sort of sell point road section, and we're now making our way back to the farm so we can go and collect our grain trailer and continue our grain sales. And I've also got rid of the blade that we had. That's now gone onto the back. Where that was on the back, that's now been sold off. You can see the snow is a little bit heavy here, so I just need to take this a bit more carefully. Because it's a double stack from where we were blowing the snow. It kind of piled it a little bit, so I just want to clear that off the very edge of the road if I can. We'll just push it a little bit further across, just a touch. Which means we do have to go a little bit slower because it takes a little bit longer for the snow blower to actually process that through. There we go. So I'll try and speed up a little bit in places where I can, but in other places I might have to dip the speed down to about 6 or 7 miles an hour. Should be okay along here. There we go. Let's try and get up to double digits. And you can see that parts of the snow is starting to thaw just a little bit. I mean, it's had sunshine beating down on it now for a good few hours, but there is still that risk of additional snow on the way. We don't know how long it's going to be until that arrives or how heavy it's going to be. So it does kind of make sense to just try and clear the roads a little bit where we can. Because if it rains while we're in the middle, or if it snows very heavily while we're in the middle of a delivery, it could suddenly prove quite tricky to actually make that delivery. And that's not something I want to get caught around with a trailer that's struggling for purchase and sliding and slipping all over the place, and wheels spinning on my tractor because I can't quite grip properly. I'd much rather have, you know, a clearish road surface when we're making, you know, important grain deliveries, especially if time becomes a factor as well. Being able to make those deliveries at a reasonable sort of time and speed becomes an issue too. You can see where the road kind of bends a little bit. And you can see where we kind of guessed where the road bent a little bit yesterday as well, with the way that the snow was being blown. Oops, just catching those little bounces and bumps in the road. It's definitely rough going when you get those little jolts. There's another one of those steps, you know, obviously that we talked about last time out. And we are almost back at the farm, so I'm going to sort of, well, I say jump ahead, we're pretty much there, so we may as well just keep the camera rolling. I was going to just sort of pause and jump ahead, but say we crest this hill and we turn the corner and we're there, you know, back in the yard, so we may as well just stick with it now. At least make sure that this little section of road is as clear as we can get it. And then we'll get back out on the grain and start delivering again. And this time I'm going to clear the other side. So swing the pipe over. This time we'll clear this side of our driveway. Just because. Why not? We've got to come down here anyway. We might as well clear a little bit more of this if we can. Some bits where it just catches completely. Right. I still haven't been able to get snow to actually visually appear out the pipe. I'm not quite sure whether I'm doing something wrong or not. I'm doing pretty much the same as I did yesterday, I think. I've tried turning it on, I've tried turning it back off again. I've tried all sorts of things and I just can't seem to get it to make a difference. Like I said, I don't know what it is that I'm doing wrong. But whereas we had snow going through the blower yesterday and visually you could actually see that happening, today has not been the case. There we go. Right, so let's put this away. I'm not going to bother bending the pipe again this time. I'm just going to park this up. We'll park it up there. We'll switch bays with the trailer. Right, let's put the T7 away. The beacon's off. Get back in the T8, and hopefully our price will have recovered on the wheat there as well, in the time that it's taken us to do this. That was the other reason why I went out and did that as well. Yeah, up to 679, so it has recovered a little bit. Not quite as much as I would have liked, but enough to justify another sale, I think. Because we do still have a couple of trailers to go. Now, you know what? I'm going to do the barley. I'm going to do the trailer of barley, and then we'll come back and we'll do the wheat after that. So once again, we're going up to AgriLife, as you can see, 662 euros per 1,000 litres. So slightly less. We're probably looking at around 22,000 for the trailer, as opposed to the 25 that we got with the last one. Oh, look, the canola is going up at AgriLife. Maybe we'll actually end up selling some canola after all today. I guess we'll keep an eye on that, and if it means I wait until the very end of the day, as it sort of gets towards midnight, and I make a very, very, very late delivery, then so be it, you know, because the price is scheduled to drop off again after tomorrow. So, well, after tonight, you know, it's going to get lower again tomorrow, and then again the next day. We're on the downslide, really, of the predicted best prices. So, yeah, I will keep an eye on that canola price very, very eagle-eyed for the rest of the day and see exactly where it ends up. And if it does mean staying up till 11, 11:30 and doing a sale right before midnight, then that is what I'll do. Hang on a minute. It's looking a little bit foggy and lights are on. I think it's about to start snowing. Oh, that would be something. Making a delivery in the snow. Ooh, yeah, it is, look. Yeah. You can see the sky is clouding up a little bit. We're getting that kind of foggy kind of look that always happens when the weather turns bad. It's about to start snowing. Here we go. How bad is this snow going to be? That is the question. Yeah, look at that. You can see out the window. Those trees are becoming less visible. Even the trees in front of us, you can start to see, are becoming a little less visible. I'll tell you what, I'm glad I did I went ahead and cleared these roads, because, you know, in the next sort of hour or so, they could be a very different experience to drive on, had we not. And we probably will go out and explore, you know, just to have a little bit of fun in the deeper snow once we've made our deliveries. Of course, we are going to have to make a late delivery at some point today as well for canola if the price keeps going up and up and up. Now, I would be tempted, if it's still rising up towards midnight, to then just hold off overnight, but I know that the price is going to dip once it hits midnight and starts the next day. We've seen it do that every day, you know, that we've been kind of paying attention to our crop prices and our commodity prices, and there's no reason to suspect it's not going to do that again tonight. So if it keeps going up and it's still climbing up, I'll just wait till the last possible moment at, you know, before midnight, and then make the sale. But oh yeah, it's definitely getting bad. We are going to get some really, really, really nasty weather. Very, very sort of imminently, I think, is the right word I'm looking for there. It's coming. We better get some lights on because it's getting harder to see. I don't think we quite need the beacons just yet, but look at that. Yeah, you can see just how much that snow is definitely coming. The sky's getting darker by the second. Now it's really greying up, look. I'm really excited for this. I don't know why. It's because, I mean, for those of you that obviously are following along with me and are playing with seasons, you guys are a lot further through on your farms than I am, because, you know, you can play, you know, pretty much non-stop. I don't have that luxury because I'm, you know, obviously recording a series. You know, I do my 2 episodes a week, and then, you know, the farm gets put away until the next time I do some recording. So I don't get the continual playing. So, you know, the people have been in their 3rd and 4th years, you know, and I'm still just finishing off year 1, and here comes the snow. So this is all still a relatively new experience for me in a lot of ways. You know, obviously I've kind of messed around with, you know, some of the geos a little bit, and, you know, I have had a little bit of experience with seasons, kind of skipping forward to do certain things and try things out, but the vast majority of actual seasons gameplay, it's still a learning experience. And while I have a good handle now on spring, summer and autumn, winter is still a relatively new experience for me, and I'm kind of, you know, seeing how I go as I go kind of thing. Oh, look how much harder it is to actually see anything with that snow. I am glad I cleared the roads. Very glad I cleared the roads. Just want to take a screenshot for the thumbnail here, because that is going to look awesome. Oh, and the lights are on in the village as well. Oh, this looks great. This really does look fantastic. Oops. That's the building. That doesn't look quite so good. So again, you can see that just a change in weather has completely transformed the feel of the map and the look of the town again. You know, from snow with clear skies to grey, darkened skies with the lights on in the middle of the day and snow and really poor visibility. It's just, again, it's just, why has it taken so long for seasons to be a thing? Why has this not been in, a feature in Farming Simulator for years and years and years? And if this is not a feature in 19, I am going to cry. Oh, this looks amazing. It really does. I love this. This is just awesome. Look at that shot there. Just so scenic. So beautiful. And then we've got the sunlight kind of just shining on the side of the trailer. This just looks amazing. I know I keep saying amazing, but it is. I mean, look at it. I'm in awe of things like this. I really am. We have been spoiled rotten by Realismus here. This is a truly, truly wonderful mod. Right, let's get back to the farm and get our next load of grain, which will be wheat, and we'll make the trip out to Raiffeisen again. No, sorry, AgroLife again. Alright, here we go. Now I'm covering up the trailer because I know that eventually, if you leave the trailer uncovered out in the snow, and it does snow for an extended period, it will fill up with snow. Or at least that's what I've heard. I haven't actually seen it. But yeah, actually look, we have actually got 9 litres of snow in the back of our trailer. We should be able to fill up. No, I can't. I can't use my tipper. I've got to unload it. And snow is not accepted. Where is snow accepted? There we go. Right, let's got the snow out. So I was right, yeah. If you do leave your trailer uncovered, you will end up getting snow in the back of it, which then stops you from using it at these places, like your silos. So that's something to be wary of. I don't know if it will have an effect on our crop while we're in transport. I'm guessing probably not, but I don't want to take the risk. We have a covered trailer on this map for a reason. Just looking around to see if the snow has got any deeper. It doesn't look like it. Not yet anyway, but it hasn't been snowing that long, so maybe not that surprising. Right, to cover the trailer, let's just check the sell point prices. Up to 685, and you can see that canola price is going up. We'll be keeping an eye on that. The corn price is going up as well, but we've already discussed that corn, we'll sell that in the summer when the price is at its best again. So we'll hang off on that. Yeah, I think we've got our lights on. I think I might possibly need to go with the beacons as well now. Visibility is poor, so anything we can do to help the other motorists on the road. Right, let's make our way back over to agro life. So we're back at agro life for our third grain tip and our second tip of wheat. So we got 25 grand for the trailer last time. You know what? I didn't even look to see how much we got for the barley. I completely forgot. But I'm not expecting to get, you know, as much for this load of wheat. What is the price right now? Up to 688. So it gained an extra few euros on the journey over. I'm reckoning about 23, maybe 24,000 on this. Oh, nearly 25. That's not far off at all. So once again, I'm going to. Oops, I'm going to drive through a signpost there. I've got to wait for it to finish its push motion before I can put the cover back on. There we go. It does look like we might possibly have picked up just a touch of snow. We have got that snow symbol now showing on the trailer. Let me see if I can unload it. Yeah, we had just a tiny little spot. You just saw that we spat out on the road there. Let's cancel that motion and immediately put the cover back on again if we can. Ah, damn it. Same problem. Well, alright, we'll do that when we're back at the farm, but what is next actually? The price 637. I think we might just sit and wait for a bit. Wait for those prices to rebound slightly and wait for the canola price to continue to climb and see where we stand there. So I'm going to make my way back to the farm. I'm going to park up for a few hours, I think, and see the net result of this vast flurry of snow that we're getting. See if it does indeed deepen what we have on the fields and even reapply snow back to the roads again. Well, we're getting into late afternoon. The snow has stopped. The sun is starting to come out and also set at the same time. You can just see out the window that the sun is setting there in the distance. So I haven't actually been outside yet. Let's take a look, see if the snow's got any deeper. I don't think it has. No, it doesn't look like it's got any deeper. But as you can see, the sun is setting. The price for canola is still going up slowly, and the price for barley is rebounding a little bit as well. It's back up to 658 and still sort of going back up. You can see our other prices are kind of, you know, rising and falling at various different sell points. We do have a great demand for wool, which is useless because we don't have any wool. Speaking of which, speaking of sheep, I do need to go and get the Lady Juno restarted again. I completely forgot to do that again. I'm going to get in the habit of actually having animals on this map, and all the grass that goes out is just rotting because it's not being collected. So we really do need to keep the Juno running, you know, regularly to stop that grass that's being spat out just rotting away, which is what's happening at the moment. That's why there's nothing here in the food trough or outside the food trough. It kind of pops out and then just rots away because it's in such small quantities. But it all adds up over a period of time. So if we can keep, you know, that area sort of with a little bit of top up, it just means our bales will last that a little bit longer. So that's why the Juno is really important when it comes to things like your cows and your sheep that spit out grass. It gives you a chance to kind of recycle that back into the food trough before it rots away. Right. Let's see. Yeah, the price is still going up to 12.85. I'm going to go back in and have another cuppa. And you see the snow's piling up outside the door. Look, it's actually it's leaking its way into the house. That's not good. I'm going to carry on having a cuppa. I'm going to keep an eye on the market prices, and then we may well make a late dash to the sell point to sell some canola. I'll see you in a little while and let you know either way. Okay, so the price has stopped going up for canola. It only went up a little bit. It's up to 13.08 and it's kind of stopped. But annoyingly, after having just sold all of our barley it's now on an increase. So as our wheat and our barley, they're both on an increase right at the end of the day. How frustrating is that? If we'd waited to the very end of the day, we could have. Well, it would have been a bit of a scramble because obviously we're playing at ×5, uh, so we can't just sort of whiz multiple trips in a single hour. It takes a while to drive out there, but we could potentially have made a little bit more money. However, we have waited on the canola, so let's load that up. Get the lights on and the engine started. We'll take a trip back up to AgroLife again, and we'll go and sell this canola. We got 2 trailers worth, and I'm wondering whether or not we sell them both. I guess we'll see what happens to the price once we tip this first trailer. If it drops substantially, I may hang on to the second set. You know, that sort of remaining 28,000 that we have in the silo. And again, look, you see how the realisation price for wheat is increasing as well. Oh, this is frustrating. We're just missing the right sell windows for our grain. Partly through me just completely forgetting about them because we were busy with nuggets and then wood chips and logs, and by the time I realised we'd kind of missed those optimal sell points, and now we're kind of selling at the next best available price. Oh look, the snow is starting to thaw a little bit by the look of it. We're leaving some indentations. It looks as though maybe it's starting to disappear away a bit. No, actually, this road actually covered up again, hasn't it? Yeah. So it looks like we have had an application of snow while I've been away. I did say I hadn't been outside. The roads have covered themselves up again. But it's a very, very thin layer. You can see that we are making indentations where the snow is actually disappearing. I'm kind of glad now that I did actually make that run with the snowblower earlier, because now I can actually see borders to where the road is, thanks to those little piles of snow that we blew out earlier. We're going a little bit too fast. Let's slow down a touch. He'll pull ahead of us as we go back up the hill, because we'll really struggle with the horsepower, even with the T8. I tell you what we're going to do is, as well, we're going to call back in at the dealership on the way back, and we're going to uprate our engine. Although I suppose we could do that at the farm. Yeah, we'll do it at the farm in our own little workshop. We'll uprate the engine for our T8 so it has a little bit more oomph than just 320 horsepower. I mean, that is why we ended up buying it, was so that it could deal with these steeper hills, and right now it's effectively exactly the same as our T7 because it only has 7 horsepower more. But we do have a little bit of spare cash now, thanks to our grain sales. So we can definitely rate it. We're not going to go all the way to the top. We're not going to max the engine power out, but we're definitely going to increase it up to the sort of the next power band, which I think will be somewhere around 360 horsepower, I think. That'll give us a nice little step up. So I will see you back at AgroLife once again. Okay. I do like the way that, because the snow is so thin here, the weight of our trailer and tractor, we are actually kind of creating tracks in the snow. That's kind of cool. I like that. Right, let's see how much we get for our canola. Now we're looking at 1308. So for 36,000 litres, we're going to be looking at, I think, probably around 42,000, maybe 43,000, somewhere maybe around there, at a guess. This trailer on its own will pay for our engine upgrade. 47,000. Oh, very nice. Very nice indeed. Careful not to crash into the signpost this time there. Make our way around the corner. And we'll head on back to the farm. We'll uprate the engine, and then I guess what happened to the price? It's 12.15. It's still not bad, and it will rebound. I guess we'll get back to the farm. Oops. We'll upgrade the engine. Then we'll take the remainder of our barley, not our barley, sorry, our wheat, back up here to AgroLife. We'll sell that, and that'll give the canola a little bit more time to just recover. its price a little bit, and then we can come and sell our remaining canola, and that'll end our crop sales until the summer. Because that's when we'll be selling our wheat, not our wheat, sorry, our corn and our soybean. So we just have to, remember next year to pay a little bit more attention to our price windows in the winter. I completely just got carried away with those logging bits and the nugget hunt and buying the new equipment, and I completely forgot all about our crops. It's a bit of a shame, as I say. We could have made quite a bit more cash potentially, depending on where these prices were a couple of days ago. I'm going to actually go back. I think I'm in two minds whether or not to go back and check footage from previous episodes and see if I can find the prices that we're showing and see just how different they were to what they are now. I don't know if I want to do that or not, because I don't know if I'm going to end up crying when I see how much money we could potentially have made. It may have been that we're actually making more money now than the prices were a couple of days ago. It's kind of, it's a little bit like the cat in the box at the moment. It's a little bit like Schrodinger's cat. Without knowing, prices could be both higher and lower a couple of days ago than they are now, and I don't know if I want to open the box and find out if I killed the kitten. So to do this, we're going to use our toolbox so we don't have to pay the 1,000. Oh look, that toolbox is back again. I'm not sure which one is which. I think that's the one that isn't the toolbox. I think this is our mod toolbox, but it's respawned. I closed the map. I threw the box in there and obviously replaced it with a mod toolbox, and then I closed the map down and I've reloaded to record this episode since then, and it's reappeared. I can't get rid of it. That or they're breeding in secret. There's a secret toolbox love affair going on in my garage. Right, let's customize this T8. So we want 30 grand. That's not too bad. Oh, 381 horsepower. That's more than I thought. That's not too bad. That's why it's so expensive. What is the other upgrade? 435, and that's a 57,500 upgrade. We don't need it to go that high. Obviously, by making these changes, we're also pushing our maintenance costs up as well. So you can see that we're currently paying 390. So to uprate the engine, we're going to pay 451, and to push it all the way up, which we're not going to do, it would cost us 505 per day. We're just going to stick with a 380, I think. So let's make that change. That's quite an expensive change. And oh yeah, look, I'm clicking on this. That's not the toolbox. That's the imposter. I wonder if it's still in the other room, or if it's moved its way back, or if I'm just spawning new toolboxes. I'm really curious about that. I'm gonna have to. Let's find out. Let's see what happens. I'm going to place this in a very deliberate spot and see if it's still there and another toolbox spawns in. This could be a way to get infinite toolboxes. Hell, we could maybe. It's a shame we can't sell these. Make a few, just a couple of euros for each one. But by the end of the series, we could have an entire closet full of toolboxes. So yeah, we'll leave this on here and we'll see if this stays here or whether it disappears. The other one, I think the other one should have been on the floor over here somewhere. I think it's gone. So, yeah, I think that will teleport itself back. But I'll be slightly worried actually if that's still there and we end up with another toolbox there next time I load this file. That'll be interesting to see. Right, do I want to make a wheel change as well? Let's take a look and see what we've got. Wheel weights, don't really need them. Wide tires, crawler track. You know what? I think we should fit the crawler track for the snow. It's 20 grand, but... And then there's the twins, and twins are too wide for the roads. But, I like the idea of fitting a crawler track for the snow. Yeah, let's do it. Let's fit a crawler track, because it's wet weather, and then we get snow weather, and we can save this purely for when we've got snow, and then we can take that back off again in the spring. So... we'll run like this for the rest of winter while we have snow on the ground.
So let's hook up to our trailer. You can see that the snow is now deep enough for us to actually leave tracks. Right, our price, 709. Yeah, let's grab the rest of that. We'll run this over to the AgriLife store, and then we'll come back and we'll pick up the last of the canola if the price has rebounded enough. Hopefully it will. There we go, just 18,500 litres this time. There we go, this is our snow setup. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, actually. Probably because I didn't have I didn't have 20 grand in my pocket just lying around doing nothing. Right, back to AgriLife we go once more. So we're going to go over to the sell point, but I'm going to take a different route because I want to see if the road down here, which is kind of disappearing on me and I have absolutely very little idea where it is, I'm looking to see if this road is deep enough to give us snow tracks, and it doesn't look as though it is, but I also kind of like the idea of giving our new tracked, more powerful engine a little bit of a shakedown run. So we're going to take a different route around. It's going to be quite interesting trying to navigate where the road is supposed to be in some of these bits and places. So as you can see, we've got a turn just here, and then we can kind of follow this line here of posts, and then the road itself, we can see it in front of us. Although as we get into the sort of draw distance, that road starts to disappear again. So this could be very, very interesting. But yeah, we're going to make our way around the map this way. So let's actually make it a little bit faster, just because we are running out of time a little bit. Let's hit 25 miles an hour. And we're kind of almost like, it's almost like we're driving cross country when there's no road and no real markings to indicate the road itself. We've just got these occasional little signs and posts, and very, very occasional little clearings on the tarmac there for us to kind of navigate our way. But we do have traffic that's oncoming, which is helpful. And also I just wanted to see another area of the map completely buried under the snow. Obviously we've seen a lot of one particular part of the map over the last couple of days as we've constantly made the route up and down into Villeneuve. I thought it would be quite nice to take a slightly different route this time, and it's very picturesque, isn't it? Even though it's all dark and it's hard to see in some places. The price hasn't quite rebounded all the way back up for this canola, but it's not far off, and by the time we get there it'll be that little bit closer still. So I'm kind of keeping a watchful eye out for those posts, and now we've got a nice straight line up before we then get to a little bit of a tricky bit with the bridge as well. This could be interesting, trying to get our way over that bridge. And we still might have to loop around the bottom of field 6 anyway. I don't know if there's going to be a direct route up to AgriLife from this road. We might have to still go into Villeneuve and then go back out the other side of it, or the other road again. I guess we'll find out. Here is the sort of approach towards the other farm. That sort of third farm, I think it's just around this corner. Or have we gone past it? Oh, we've gone past it already. I wasn't even paying attention. And I think this is one of the areas I think where we're going to see some changes with the update. I think this little village here, which village is this? Meadow Grove. I think Meadow Grove is where the beet sell point is going to go, the root crop sell point. Might be wrong on that, but I think that might be where it's going, just based on the video
that Black Sheep put out a little while ago. Still no more information on when that's going to go live. Obviously, Black Sheep is withholding that kind of information now, and it's probably going to continue to do so for quite some time. So hopefully we won't have to wait too long. And obviously a new map was announced recently as well. A new American theme map, and there's a little 2-minute teaser video on their channel, and it looks brilliant. I really do like that. I don't think it's going to have quite the same level of technical detail as Lone Oak, and I think it's going to be a very different kind of American map, but it does look very good nonetheless, and I can't wait to see it. And again, because Black Sheep is holding information, we have absolutely zero idea how far along in the process that map is, or how long it's been worked on. But yeah, it does look very good. And this is our cornfield, isn't it? It is. Okay, so well, we own this field. Let's cut across it. If we can get up the hill, save us going all the way in. This is our land, so we are free to drive on it, and I think we are leaving snow tracks behind us. Yeah, we are, look, just because the fields have got a double layer of snow, we are condensing it down just a little bit. And there's the road. Hop over that little ridge of snow from the stuff that we've blown onto the sides. Let's make our way into the sell point itself for this final tip. There we go. Right, so how much will we get for this? The price is back up to 12.38. So let's tip it and see what we get. $34.5 grand. So we've got 122 plus. Don't forget we spent 55 upgrading our tractor. No, 50. 50,500 is what we spent upgrading the engine and fitting the tracks. So you know, in total today we've made about 177,000. No, yeah, 172,000. I was right the first time. That's not too bad at all. That's our wheat and that's our barley and our canola gone. We still have our corn and we still have our soybean, which will be sold off in the summer. But we've made a good little income from our crops just there this year. Next year, we'll make sure we sell them at the right time. And we'll have more of them to sell because we have more fields. Our winter income will be even higher. So, nothing left to do now but return back to the farm and go to bed. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with another episode and the final day of winter here in Seasons in the Valley very soon.